Then it will have all the name, value, name, value, name, value, etc. Right. So once you do that, you read each row from the line using a buffered reader, and then for each line, you're going to create a map of string object variable. It cannot write just the JSON string directly. You need to create a map of string object data, and then put that into the list. So once you put it in the list, and then we are seeing here, right, you add the data if it's not equal to the batch size, if it's equal to the batch size, then we are going to post that data to the index. So very straightforward code: search index, merge or upload documents command, and block, and get results. So in case you have errors in the indexing, like let's say a data type did not match, or maybe the field is missing, or something happens, right? It actually gives you the status code, and then it will give you the indexing key, what the key was that we passed, and then what the error code is and messages. And then this is basically looking for the last batch, and it's going to update the data. So to run this command, I have given the instructions in this run instruction text. All that you need to do is run this command, right? So I'm in the right spot. I've set up all the environment variables. All I need to do is run this command. So once you run this command, it's going to take all the data in the actual data JSON object, and it's going to start pushing the data in batches. And if you kind of see here, it is in debug mode, so you can't see, but you can see here it is writing 200, 300, 400, right? It keeps running all those things, and then after a while, you will see that all the 4,390 rows would be indexed. So in this particular case, if you see, right, I am re-indexing the thing that is already there. So what it's doing is it's basically taking the rows and updating the rows in the index using the primary key that I have specified, which is the movie ID, right? So once you have all the data uploaded there, then it's going to you can easily query that. So you can go back to the overview here, and then you can click on the search explorer, and you can this is the only index that's available, and then you can look for things like uh, motor way or something like that, right? And search for it, and then it'll so obviously they didn't have any data. So if you say ship wreck, right, and then you search for it, then you can see that there is all of these matched, all of these matched um, the shipwreck. So it's actually, now we can see, right, it's matching the keywords field, and shipwreck is one of them, right? So that's pretty much a quick demo of the search engine feature. So we can also query the same index. I mean, you can use Postman and other things to test, or even use this portal itself to test. But in the real world, right, we definitely need to have a class to call that will be able to return back the data, right? So if you go to the search movies class here, the search movies class is nothing but a front end interface that the other Spring Boot application can use to query the data from the index, right? So if you look at this code, it's using pretty much the same idea. Um, this is an example of one of the examples I'm showing here. What is the search basis? What is the field you want to search on? And what is the data you want to search on? So this is kind of the pattern that we follow. So this is what is used behind the scenes from the Spring Boot bot application. So let's say we pass genre is the field I want to search on, and comedy. Then what it is doing is loading the property file. This of course could be externalized, but it's a demo, so it's okay. So we pull the data from all these individual fields, and then we create the same thing. We create the search client. It's not this client, right? So this is the Azure search indexing client, but that's not what we create in this one. It's just a read-only image, so we create the search client. Same idea. We pass the Azure credential, and then we pass the endpoint, and then we pass the service name, and then we'll tell it what index to go. But in this case, we give the service search key, query key, not the admin key, right? And then we can also say what are the search options. You can do a lot of things with the search options object. If you click on this, you can see include total count, facets, filter, highlight fields, highlight post tag, pre tag, minimum coverage, order by, query type, scoring parameters. A lot of things you can do. Um, And of course, we are not using any of those fancy features. And we're also telling, set only 5 rows, set search fields as search basis. We're not doing a global search across all the fields in the index. We're just looking for particularly genre in this case, right? And then we're looking for comedy. So it's going to give us top 5 comedy movies, right? And then all we do is when we search, do search content search, it is going to run through the search in the index and bring back a searchable, search paged iterable object. And then we're going to take the search result, and then we get the document that was a matching part, and then you can see it's using the class here, search document. And then it's just pretty much a map of string and object. So we need to cast, and then we need to bring back the right data set, data elements from the document. And then we set up the DTO object, the data transfer object, and then we put it in and return back. So that is pretty much how this would work. So just to kind of give a demo of how the search would work, this is the maven command. Right, so if you go back here, submit this, it should run through the search for comedy on the genre field, and it should return back. So if you see here, there's a default 200. If this 200 came back, and if you kind of go up here, it's running in debug mode, so it's a lot of chatter, but you'll be able to see the actual data here, right? So whatever was loaded here is going to come and show up, right? So that is pretty much a quick demo of how the search piece was put together, and like I showed before, right? So the actual working is this is how the faceting also comes into play. So when you come into the bot, so this is the top level options that we give. So whenever you type on genre, let's say you click on this is the facet query. Now we are saying give me all the facets that are available under genre, and these are all the facets that the search engine came back with the options. And now if you say I want to do action based, so I can click on that, and then it is going to say I want to look for action in the genre field, and that is how the search basis and search fields are coming into play, and it's going to search for it, and then it's going to give you the top 5 answers. Like how we saw last time, right? It's sending it, and it's going to give you that. So that is pretty much all about the search index process and the search process and how it's all put together. Hope you liked it, and hope you enjoy and learn something from this. Thank you.